Greetings, students. We're going to take a look at how to draw right rectangular prisms. So here's our right rectangular prism. We're going to start by looking at the face, the first face that's facing you. So we have a rectangle, and it looks like it's kind of up and down. So I'm going to start by drawing my rectangle. Make sure everything is nice and straight to start with. Want to get off to a good start. Straight enough. So this is the face. This is the part that is facing you. Next, we're going to draw the top lines here. We're going to draw them facing the same way. So make them at an angle. And I'm going to draw this line. It's going to be the same length as this and the same angle. I'm going to do the top line here. That's going to be this line right there. I want to make sure that it's even with this line, this line. So they should all be parallel. If you're using lined paper, you can use the lines on your paper for these lines. This next part is a little tricky. What students will sometimes do is they'll draw this straight out this way and then this line down here, and then their rectangular prism looks kind of funny. What you need to make sure that you're doing is lining up. Every line that you draw after your first rectangle should be matching something else. So this line, and this line here should all be parallel and the same length. They should all be equivalent. This line here, it's easy to make this line start to kind of go out. It needs to be up and down just like this line here. We have our right rectangular prism. Now we can do the next step, and that's actually showing how many unit cubes are in our right rectangular prism. So we're going to start off with the front face, the first face, and we see, and in the way that I have it divided up, I see that I have 3 same size pieces. So I'm going to draw those lines on my right rectangular prism. So those 3 lines represent these 2 blocks and these 2 blocks and these 2 unit cubes. I want to make sure that line continues around to the side. So we're going to start here. Now don't make the mistake of going straight across that way. Now my rectangular prism looks kind of weird. Just like we did to start with, this line, and this line should all be the same. They should be parallel and they should be equal length. They should be equivalent. Let's look at the top. The top we also have broken up into 2 same size pieces. The first line I'm going to draw is this line breaking up this way. And I need to make sure that it's parallel to this line and to this line. I want to break it evenly into 2 same size pieces. So that shows these 2 together and these 2 together. We haven't split them yet. And then this line needs to go down. Again, it needs to be parallel to both of those 2 lines. Now this looks like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we just need to do the front and the top. Everything is to be split in half this way. So I'm going to start with the front face. I'm going to draw this line up and down. It's going to be parallel to this line and to this line. And lastly, I'm going to draw this line here. Notice I didn't go straight up. I made it as close as I could to be parallel to these lines. If I would like, when I'm done, if I really want to add some realism to it, and I want to show how I'm seeing, in this case, my 4, the reds, I have 4 more, the blues, I have 4 more, so 4, 8, 12. If I want to show how I see my 12 unit cubes, I could color them. If you're going to add color, which is a really great detail, make sure that you're coloring it correctly. So see this corner here? There's 1, 2, 3 faces of the same cube. So we'd want to make sure that this looks like 1 cube because it is 1 cube. Here we can see 1, 2 faces. So that's this cube here. The way that it's angled, we can see 2 faces. So just make sure as you're doing this, you don't have a single cube that is two separate colors. Same with this one. This right here, this square and this square are just different two faces of the same cube, the same unit cube. And in my example here, I'm actually going to leave these alone because they are white. So those look like they're white. If that looks too weird for you and you're using a white color, either don't use a white color, or I suppose we could add just a couple of little details there. And from here, we can start labeling it. Also, if we want to do that, this is 2 units long, 2 units wide, and 1, 2, 3 units tall. If I start adding 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 2 times 2 times 3, or 4 times 3, we can start making equations now. All right, that's how we draw a right rectangular prism. Have fun.